Hello everyone, I'm Joshua Haddad and this is A.T.I Draws. I'd like to welcome you guys back to just another wonderful video. Last week we talked about color theory and understanding color theory and basically going over on what color theory is and some unique tricks on helping you get better at color theory, but we never discussed on how to effectively practice color theory. So today I'll be going over with you guys 5 unique ways in order to go and practice color theory so that you may work, learn, and grow on your own as an artist. But before that, I'd like to take time out to really thank you guys for just the awesome support you guys given me for last video. Last video, as you can see here, posted 191 views. This is amazing because never have we gotten such a viewership this high before on this channel, especially not on one video, much less combined. This is insane and I really appreciate you guys. We have a 3.7 watch hour time, around that, I believe, 3.0 watch hour time, off the charts. Never seen something so amazing before. And overall, for the last 28 days, the channel analytics says that I got 204 views with a watch time of 5.3 hours. This is insane. I really do thank you guys, truly. The love and support has been going a long way. I will be now, I was trying my best, but I will see, due to all this support, I will definitely be paying you guys back with other things that we could use in order to obviously progress the interest you guys more and to progress obviously growth. So I want to thank you guys for that, truly. Now let's get back. So color theory in itself is very complex. So many of us oftentimes wonder, how can I effectively practice something so out of the ordinary, something all over the place, something that, always seems to be hard for even professional artists to effectively practice. So here are 5 ways we can practice color theory. Practice number 1 is, what you want to do for this practice is you want to go over and you want to spend time deciphering the color wheel. What I mean by that is I want you to take out all the colors in the color wheel. I want you to take out 12 colors. Once you have 12 colors at the color wheel, I want you to close off the color wheel on whatever digital app you're using. I use Clip Studio. And I want you to completely rebuild it to your personal comfort. Rebuild it based on how you think the color wheel should be made. Well, rebuild it and based off how you personally find the color wheel most comfortable for you to look at. And what this is allowing you to do is this is basically allowing you to understand where basically the color wheel is, but just make sure your color wheel is aligned when warms and cools. Now, by you taking the color wheel, aligning it in a way that you kind of seem more fit or more comfortable for you, but for warmth and cools, you're now allowing yourself to see a color wheel, to go through it until you find a comfortable spot or space, or how you align your colors or how you want your colors to be aligned, and to align it by warmth or cools in a way that allows your color wheel to flow itself more properly. As you can see here, my color wheel obviously goes around the way a color wheel should. You go from the red over to the orange, the yellow, then light green, middle green, a tealish green, a teal, blue, purple, pink, and back to red. That's how I did it with my color wheel. And this allowed me to, divide up my color wheel to create my warmths and cools, and to allow me to see exactly how I wanted my color wheel to be divided up, so when I use it, I understand, okay, this goes there, and this is my warms and these are my cools. At least that helped me. Now, for the second thing that you guys can do in order to improve you guys on color theory is take out now each individual section of your color wheel. Now that you have each individual color of your color wheel, now go through, now you're able to look at your color wheel now, and I want you to create a warmth color and a cool color variation of every single color there. For your yellow, create a warm yellow color and create a cool yellow color. For your orange, do the same, and do for the red as well until you get all the way to the last color you have. Now, what this teaches you is it allows you to feel more comfortable, understand what colors or what variation of the color you would use with different moods or different settings. It also allows you to train your eyes to see that certain environments, that certain colors will make the environment seem more like this or similar like that, or allows you to differentiate between certain things. Like you're able to use more warmer colors, tone it down, move it over, and then boom, you got yourself a shadowed color that you could use for your shadows. You're able to now train your eyes to see different things when it comes to colors, so now your eyes are able to now keep a note, and you're able to keep note of how certain colors will look warm and how certain colors will look cool. For blue and red, I found that blue and red were a bit more of trickier colors because warm colors tend to be colors closer to red, while blue cool colors are colors closer to blue. So when I was doing red and blue, it was hard for me to effectively understand how I would make the color warmer or make the color cooler in a sense. So I just toned it up, and the lighter it kind of was, the more like I put it more warmer. I guess more cooler or warmer. It kind of depends. Less strong and then more strong. That's kind of how I put it. So lighter version and darker version. Let's put it like that. So yeah, you can use that for your warm and cool colors. Everything else, there was very easy access for you to do using the color wheel to make a warmer and cooler version of the colors. With the greens are very, very close to each other in terms of warm and cool. So have fun with that. But everything else, it really does teach you about warm and coolness. Now take two colors. My apologies, I just skipped right to it. For the third, you will want to take two colors adjacent to each other on the color wheel. So similar to how red is across from blue, or red is across, and similar to how just the colors in itself are across from other colors, like yellow and blue, or red and like a light blue, purple and green, and this different colors. You want to take two adjacent colors from each other. I chose orange and blue, light blue. Now, by taking this, you want to take these colors and you want to line them up next to each other. Take a square and take another color. Turn the opacity down low. Now with those opacity down low, you want to kind of go over into the same method I did last video. Understand that how certain colors shift over to other colors, or understand how certain colors can act as shading marks for other colors. If we zoom in here and we look at the orange, we can easily see that the blue became a very excellent shade for this orange. The blue became a very excellent shade for this orange. And same with the orange with the blue. They're contrasting points from each other, which allow them to become effective shaders for each other, which that's what color theory kind of teaches you. And now another way to process this is if you continue to add more lines with the low opacity as you go along, the individual color block, you will see the color slowly shifts over to its color. So if you wanted to, you can have a slow shift over to a specific color you want. And this really helps you out in certain moods, certain artworks, and certain drawings where you need shiftings over from colors to colors. It definitely really helps. So that's one practice you can use when it comes to color theory. Another practice is take two colors. There's several different methods you can use for art practice. I'll be saying all of them, but I will show you the one I decided to do. So the one I decided to do was take two colors, completely opposite from each other on the color wheel, or directly next to each other. No in between, completely across from each other or directly next to each other. Now from this, take these two colors and only using those two colors. You can use any color, any shade variation of that color. Like for example, if I wanted to go and use pink, once I selected that specific area of pink, the only thing I could do is move my little module over here to any color on the pink, to any other square on the pink. I can't change from what the module is on the pink. It can only be the pink. Now my secondary color, let's say, is purple, and I can only move it from any lighter version of the purple area I selected out of the box that I have on my color wheel, of course. I cannot move my color around on the color wheel, on the outer part of the color wheel. I can only move when my little dot is selecting on the final color inside of the square. That's my final. I can't change that. So now that we have that, you select two colors. Now that you have these two colors, your goal is to create a full rendered artwork using these two colors. It could be funny, it could be goofy, it doesn't have to be completely serious. You don't have to do everything 100%, but the goal is for you to be able to create a fully rendered artwork just using those two colors. So I picked orange and I picked blue, as you can see here. Now using a over towards the middle and using a downward, just going down and finding a darker version of the orange, I was able to get brown. I decided I was going to create an ice cream cone using that. And due to cyan having a very, very lighter pitch of color, I thought that would work very well. So using orange, I got brown and I created myself a cone. Using the cyan, I created myself the actual ice cream. And then you just use different versions of the same color that you have to create the lights and the shadows and different things. And and that becomes your line art as well. Your line art is your actual color. That's what you use. You just make the outlines darker based off what you have, so the outlines stand out more. And one thing I like about this practice is it really gives it a really rendered 3D shape to it. I really like that practice. It looks really good. I do find this working very well with the more simplified, cuter version of just making a whole bunch of random faces and expressions and calling it a day, like I did with this ice cream. As you can see, it's just a whole lot of whatever. But that's the practice I did. By taking this practice and doing it, you're able to learn more about colors and find yourself more comfortable with working with colors, because you don't need to switch to several other colors to get the same process. Now there's other variations of this. Now you can do what is often referred to as the monochrome method. So a monochrome method is where you're taking only whites, grays, and black, obviously like manga, and you're taking that palette and you're effectively creating an artwork off of that. Now, as a traditional artist, I've been working with monochrome for quite some time, so I felt that it was funny to me for me to do just the blue and orange, the cyan and orange. That felt more better to me, or more like a challenge to me. That's just me personally. I recommend working with monochrome palettes still. I will be working with monochrome palettes still and in the future, but monochrome palettes has been something I have been working on, so that feel like that wasn't something I should really that it doesn't feel as much of a restriction to me as other people would. Now, another palette people tend to use it is called a Zorn palette. A Zorn palette is a yellow, a dark blue, a dark purple, and white. Now, using yellow, blue, dark purple, and white, you now effectively have to create a whole artwork only using that. Now, the complementary palette is basically using similar to what I did with blue and orange. That's the type of palette I did. You just take blue and orange, any variation of the color, and just mix it together. Just base blue, base orange, you just combine it together. This helps you understand the different values of colors. Again, how colors mix together, how colors harmonize together. Allows you to understand how different colors structure with each other. Allows you to understand how to create shapes only using just a set value. It makes things so much easier for you when you have that full color wheel at your disposal. This also helps you study lights and shadows. But the last and the most painful way, in my personal opinion, of studying color theory is the eye-to-eye practice. Basically, to break it down, the eye-to-eye practice is you taking an image off of Google. You take this image and you now have to completely, and I mean without line art, without clicking on the eyedropper tool, replicate that art only using colors. You cannot select the colors on the actual art piece, and you cannot and the only thing you can do is just try your best to figure out the color on the color wheel and match the same thing. And it's very hard for you to do. As you can see, I ran out of time. I won't like just be like, okay, yeah, I was bad, I didn't even do it. You could clearly see it's unfinished, but outside that, I struggled like really bad with this. I'm not going to blame it on the time. The time only prevented me from finishing it. But again, I really struggled with this. This was actually a huge struggle for me. To the person who took this photo, that was very hard for me to replicate. But as you can see here, this isn't something easy to do, and nor is this something quick to do. The other methods I have mentioned are you just using limited palettes, or you mixing around different colors, or maneuvering different colors for you to see how different colors look in different situations, or understanding different palettes, or working with limited palettes. This isn't that. This is you taking basically all of that and working with something that is far more complicated. This is very hard, and I don't recommend it unless you are a person actively seeking to become a professional artist, or a person who genuinely loves color theory. If you're just trying to get better at it, I recommend working on other methods and obviously trying your best to learn color methods using warm and cool colors, using limited palettes, working with other colors and seeing how to use other colors as their shades, like with the orange or blue I mentioned before, but not like this. This is very strenuous, and I would not recommend it to the average artist out there, as this is not something I would even recommend to myself. Now, all those points aside, color theory is hard. It takes a lot of practice. So that's why I wanted to bring to you guys attention different methods you can use to improve you on drawing and color theory. All these methods, their only goal is to help you learn and grow in different areas and focuses based on what color theory is. It helps you learn how the colors are structured, on how the colors are divided up between warm and cool, how to use warm variations or cool variations of the color, knowing where the cool variations or warm variations are, how complementary colors are across the color wheel can act as shaders for each other or can blend themselves into other colors, and using limited palettes to create a masterpiece while understanding how colors harmonize and with each other and the values of each color. By doing things like this, you're able to understand how colors they work for each other, and that's what color theory is. Color theory is nothing more than understanding how colors complement other colors. So keep working on that and keep growing as artists. Thank you guys just for joining me for another video. I'd like to thank you guys just again for just the awesome support you guys gave me last video. I will be ensuring that I will not lose you guys, so I will be pushing more in my videos to ensure that my videos are of utmost quality for you guys. You guys will love the videos, and I thank you guys for sitting there and watching this color theory thing with me, and thank you for just watching today's video. Please like and subscribe if you guys can, and I will see you guys again next video. Enjoy your wonderful day. See you guys.